Hello and welcome to the General Conversation Podcast. I am Valerie.
And I'm Cord.
And you can find us on our social media platforms. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and of course YouTube. We also have merchandise on Teespring. Feel free to browse it. That's the word I was looking for. Feel free to browse it. I want to start off with a word that came to my mind, and it's nirvana. A state of perfect happiness or idyllic place. In Buddhism, it's a transcendent state in which there is neither suffering, desire, or nor a sense of self. And the subject is released from effects of karma and the cycle of death and rebirth. Now, I'm not saying it in that sense. Like, I get how the Buddhists may think of it. I just mean the state of nirvana makes me think of a place that you can get to yourself, like a place of peace. You know, when like things are going awry and you're trying to just kind of move forward throughout your day. Your day might have started off wrong and you're like, okay, how can I fix it? I just need a moment. And I think that it's one of them things it's one of the idea that you can just put in your mind and like, I just need a peace. If I need 5 minutes in the car, if I need 5 minutes in the bathroom, if I need 5 minutes more in my bed, like with nothing on, just kind of like meditating to yourself. And I think that would kind of help you throughout the day. Even when like you're at work and you already got your day started, you can go ahead and be like, okay, so let me just take a moment. Maybe you got to step away from your desk, turn the phone off, or put it on mute, whatever the case may be. And it just made me think of that because sometimes I get so anxious. And I don't even know that I'm anxious, but I tend to get anxious and I'm like, okay, I just need a moment. And so people will talk to me and I'm looking at them, I'm like, okay, but in my mind I'm like, I'm just taking a moment for myself. And I think that if we can practice that, that's a good thing to do, just to kind of reevaluate yourself. Cordero, do you have anything that you do to kind of like center yourself, kind of remind yourself like, okay, it's just one thing. I just need to take it one day at a time, one step at a time, 1 minute at a time. The day's not over. I can turn this day around.
Right. I mean, considering the job that I have, I think I need to do that on a daily basis because I'm not the most sociable, adept person. So, just dealing with people all day long, sometimes I have to go in the room or go into another room where nobody can find me and just kind of like chill out.
You hiding out.
Yeah, I got to hide out. You got to hide out. Find my hideout spot for like 15, 20 minutes even. It don't have to be a whole, hour of meditation and lighting candles. Just 15, 20 minutes of just peace and quiet away from everybody. I had to do it the other day. So just, I do that. I do that a lot. Or, on my way to work, I'll cut the radio off. No radio, no music playing or anything like that. And I just alone my thoughts, how the day's going to go, how I want the day to go. Or I might be thinking about, something else. Just find your place of peace just for 20, 30 minutes. It makes a big difference.
Yeah, I like that too. I like the idea of getting in your car and like just driving. To me, that's one of the things that I think, for me, get in the car and drive. I might not even have I don't have a destination in my mind. I'm just like, let me just get in the car. I try to do it when it's not traffic though, like least people on the road. I'm like, even at nighttime, I'm kind of just like, I can get in the car, I can drive. And sometimes I will have the music on and I'll just sing to the top of my lungs. The words probably all wrong, might be rapping something that, whatever the case may be, but when I come back home, I find myself more like I'm zoned, like I've been calmed down, mellowed out. So yeah, I definitely think so. So some of the topics we're going to talk about today is starting a business. I'm going to go with the first one, starting a business, and is it worth the commitment? So some things you might be thinking about is you want to start a business, and the first thing I think you should think of is what it is that you are good at or that you could be good at. And is there a market for it? I would say there's pretty much a market for anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out what is it not a market for is probably more a better of a question, but
somebody will like it.
Someone will like it, exactly, and someone will subscribe to it or buy it, or if you're passionate about it too, and you can kind of get them on board with the idea that you have. People will be like, oh, the passion that you have for your idea makes people gravitate to you and make people want to invest in you and then in turn invest in your product.
Yeah.
So Okay.
I definitely think it needs to be something that you enjoy, because with starting your own business, it's fun when you enjoy something, but also just the business aspect of it can sometimes be relatively stressful, and you got to be able to look at the bigger picture and say, okay, this paperwork is getting on my nerves, but I enjoy doing A, B, and C, so I'm going to keep on pushing through it. It'll give you the drive to push through it, whether you're dealing with difficult customers, because you always have to deal with people. Somebody has to buy your stuff. Whether it's dealing with difficult customers, deadlines or something like that, it has to be something that you enjoy doing. Because in my opinion, the more you enjoy doing it, the better your product will be, or your product or your service will be. I know for me it is. I take extra time when fixing on things or computers because I enjoy tinkering with it.
Right.
If I just didn't care, I'd be like, yeah, you lost everything. I'm not gonna try to save nothing.
Like, no.
You lost everything. It's not worth fixing.
Right.
Yada yada yada. I'm gonna toss it out the window and still charge you. But because I enjoy what I do, I might be like, okay, let me see what I can do for you.
Right, you will go that extra step.
Yeah, you go that step.
And I think people appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what? I can tell that it was going to be a lot of work, but the person was, okay with doing it and took the extra step. People can tell when you take extra steps and you love what you do.
We'll take like Chick-fil-A. Now, you go to Chick-fil-A, they happy when they work there. They can tell I'm not saying it's the best job in the world, but they generally seem like they enjoy their job because it's like, yo, they outside taking order, they smiling and stuff.
Listen,
and I don't eat Chick-fil-A like that,
I agree. I totally agree. I told a friend this. I said, if you want a morale boost, or like you want somebody to give you some self-confidence, you can just drive up to Chick-fil-A, order something. You don't even have to be a lot. Order
buy a drink. Buy a drink.
Right. Some cookies or something, and drive up through there, and then they're like, "You have a great day." I'm like, "Well, thank you."
Yeah, because even like my place, I like Zaxby's. That's just my thing. But I noticed just the service I get, if it's a healthy employee, you give me extra fries, I get extra chicken tender, some free sauce. They supposed to go to there's supposed to be 25 cents, but I get the free sauce. You feel better about your purchase.
Yeah,
because that person is happy behind the counter.
So I was saying, you want your business to be a part of you and something that you're passionate about. You also want to know what your market is. Like I said, you want to know if it's marketable, so that you can make a profit off of it. And then the expectations. Okay, so with this, I mean, you want to do well, of course, but you have to have the expectation, not just to do well, but the expectation that it might not do well. Like, statistically, small businesses starting off don't do so well. And I mean, that can be from an array of reasons. However, you can't go, like, okay, so if you're starting something and only 2 people buy something from you and it's been a week, I think you should still think that's good, because 2 people bought something instead of no sales at all. I think that your outlook on things have to be more optimistic than pessimistic. Now, I'm not saying be so optimistic and blind by, like, okay, I only had 2 sales and that's not going to be enough. Then you may need to switch your marketing tactic. You may need to switch some other things, or get with someone who knows, get with a person that knows about marketing and what it is that you should be doing, and they can see your vision. It's okay to get help from people. I know sometimes when you tell friends that you're starting stuff, they want to help, but if they don't really have an expertise in that, sometimes it's just a hindrance. It's like, I'm not saying friends can't help, but in a sense, get with somebody who does this for a living and that you've seen some kind of work, that they've done and made someone else some profit. So, like I said, expectations on this, just have fun with it. Make sure that's the expectation that you have, but don't be so hard on yourself, especially in the beginning, because in the beginning, it's one of those things that it's like you hope it works out, and that's it. Like, just kind of shoot kind of low, maybe. I mean, I think so. Just think like, you know what, and don't get discouraged. That's my whole thing about that.
I don't even think it's really shooting low. It's just give yourself time to actually grow.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna hit the ground, everybody's gonna buy this hot idea because you think that the idea is hot. Don't mean everybody else thinks the idea is hot. You gotta think about how you would react if you were a customer. I think when you start a business, you gotta put yourself in the consumer shoes. Really, when it comes down to buying a service from somebody you never heard of, and the question like, how many times have you done this? Well, you my first one. They're like, oh, word? Nah, I'm gonna call somebody else. Nobody wants to be the guinea pig.
Right, exactly. Everybody loves Yelp and word of mouth, right? Because I know this. I do this for a fact. If I see I haven't been to a restaurant, but I see a lot of people going there. I'm like, okay, let me check the reviews first, or what's going on with that particular restaurant before I kind of drive over there. Now, sometimes I'll just go on a whim and say, I'll just go on my own whim, but I will do review checks and things like that. So, yeah, just kind of, oh yeah, and then too, that's a good marketing technique. If you can, you really made someone feel good about their purchase or whatever, and they really liked your product, it's okay if you're like, hey, can you write a Yelp review, or can you do a review for me, or do a video, a blog about how you felt about it, just so people can see. Because Cordella's right. Some people are like, oh, I'm the first one. Some people won't take that chance. Or some people feel honored that they're the first one because they feel like, I want to help you start off, but you never know.
One thing I did want to mention, and it's something that Valerie said to me when we were doing a car ride, is also know your worth. That was more so the talk. Know your worth. And, if you have a set price amount, you believe your work is worth this amount of money, do your best not to waver on that. I'm not saying it's going to happen all the time, but definitely stick to that as much as you can.
Absolutely.
Because I know personally I've messed up by someone saying, well, I can't afford this, and I'm like, well, okay, I can help you out. But it's okay to help people out, but as much as you can, stick to whatever your prices are, stick to whatever you think it's going to be, because sometimes people get worse on it. You give them a little bit and they try to take off with it.
Can you add on this? Right. Add on.
Can you do this for me real quick?
You know what? I can. Well, it's going to cost you this.
Right. Go ahead. Additional.
Business is business at the end of the day, especially when you're starting out. It's okay to kind of be firm in what you want and firm in what your price is. Now, if you feel like you want to have that wiggle room to reduce prices or whatever, just realize that you're paying for it at the end of the day.
So. Well, most times I'll tell people, if it's somebody that I'm doing, we use the word hookup, but if it's somebody I'm trying to help out, I'll be like, this is your price. Don't tell none of your friends.
Oh my God.
Don't tell none of your friends that I gave you this price, because the next person you tell, if you're not sure, you have to get with him on that. But don't tell any of your friends what he did for me for $40 and I charge $75. Don't mess up your hookup. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not like, well, tell you what you tell.
That's the word of mouth thing. Because people, I'm telling you, it's like word vomit. They might like, dang, I probably shouldn't have said that. Yeah, I've had that happen quite a few times. I'm like,
because I can say with me, I've done minimal advertising. Most of my people that come to me are through word of mouth,
right,
are through my reputation of dealing with somebody else. But I also put that caveat in there. Hey, Miss So and So, this is your price. You're gonna tell your cousin, your sister, them about oh, he only charged this much, and he only did me like this, because that ain't none of their business. But because the next time you call me, I'm like, nah, 75. Well, last time you did it for you messed that up.
Yeah,
you messed that up.
And then the last thing I want to say about starting your business is the legwork. So you got to put in the work, and it's a lot of work. I mean, I know sometimes some people probably can make it seem easy, and I'm not saying that some things, especially if you have an expertise in something, that it's not easy for you. But traditionally, starting a business you have the freedom to do whatever you like because it's your business. However, it's a lot of work that goes into it, because you're the marketing person, you're the administrative assistant, you're the budget, the analyst, you're all of these things. And you're one person. Now, granted, it's great when you have people partners that want to come along with you, and they're like, okay, look, I know we're starting out, so I have a person. You can assign people different tasks that work for them. But either way, even then, it's a lot of work. And so I think the consistency with if you have a date for something, or you tell somebody a time you're going to have their purchase or product ready, then do that, because that means a lot to them, and they know you're consistent, and you want to make sure you follow through with that. And then, like I said, that helps build the word of mouth of your business. So put in the legwork, and long hours, late nights. That's kind of what it is sometimes.
I just want to say this too. Also, make time for your work. If you are at a current job right now that you know that you don't enjoy, you don't plan on being there, don't invest so much personal time into that job. Even though you want to do a good job.
Do a good job though.
You want to do a good job, but if it comes to a point where you make time for your work. Just an example, there's a young lady that I work with. She's really good at just writing and things like that. And every day I just kind of ask her, you've been writing, because you can see the stress on some people's face, like, I really don't want to be here. But she enjoys writing and doing her events on the side. And I'm just saying, make sure you make time for your work, because these jobs, I know people have heard it time and time again, especially where we stay, it's they can fire you on a whim. Exactly. And you will be replaced. It's not that hard. Don't think you're special.
It's so many people that I've known and said, and I've even said it, like, they gonna need me, I'll quit, but in actuality, they have somebody, they're just waiting to go ahead and press the button and get somebody else. And even if they are struggling at their long run, you don't want to mess up your money or things you have to do, especially if you're dependent on that job or if that's your only job. And I will say, I have left a job without having a backup plan. I would no longer do that, and God has brought me through the other side. But I've been there. I've been so fed up with a job and try to give it my college, to give it the college try, as they say. And I just was like, yeah, you know what? I really not have nothing than to have that. And like I said, that's not always the best thing to do. And I wouldn't recommend. I definitely wouldn't recommend that.
And I just want to add this onto it. Also, your mindset on the current job. And I have to tell myself this constantly too. I'm working this job to fund my dream.
Okay.
It's awesome. Like, you like, hey, I want to work for myself. But just think of it like that. You're going to work every day and say, I'm working for myself now because I'm working this particular job to fund my dream elsewhere. So people like, just go in, do your job, go home. And then you can take whatever funds you need or whatever it is and take the rest of the energy and put it towards whatever your real desire to do would be. So it's also a mindset. So and so getting your job, you get on your nerve. You can't stand the managers. Like, you know what? I'm not here for them.
Right.
I'm not here for this company in particular. I'm not here for Deborah in accounting. I'm here to do my job so I can fund my dream. And so therefore, you kind of get the mindset of, I am working for myself.
Right.
And it kind of give you a sense of pride. You can kind of walk around with your head up more so than the doom and gloom of, I don't want to be here.
Right.
So.
Okay, so one of the next topics that I wanted to talk about, which kind of has a thing about starting your own business and kind of probably why people, especially these days, they say that people starting their own business is at an all-time high. And I want to talk about the younger generation and us trying to find other sources of income, basically not traditionally going to college or coming from college and finding another job. Like maybe you went to college and some of us can get in our field, but, it's one of those things where you might not be getting the pay that you need, and so you have to get a second income, or you start a small business on the side, and, we're not really trying to, some of us are coming out of college seeing how much the pay is, and we're like, okay, yeah, so I just rather work for myself, especially if it's a certain trade or something that you have. They start their own business. And those things can happen for different reasons. First of all, I would say that the pay for certain jobs, depending on the area where you live in, it's not enough for you to live, let alone pay back student loans if you have them. And if you don't, congratulations to you. But, you want to make sure that you're able to live in the income that you're receiving is sustainable for that. Some of us have car notes or transportation to get back and forth from work, whether you're doing Uber or you have a train, bus pass, things like that. And so a lot of times we're living back at home with parents or grandparents and things like that. And you really, like, when you get out of college, you're not trying to really live back at home with anyone. It's kind of like you've accomplished something. And I think that sometimes we tend to graduate and get that accomplishment, and we're like, what next? And let's say we get a job, like the next step is not to live back home with your parent or whomever, or you get a roommate, and then if you've ever been in that situation, that can go left totally quickly.
Yes, it can.
Especially if like you're a cleaner person or you are more relaxed person about certain things, or if the other person has company. It's so much that goes along with that kind of living situation. And so I would say that it's really good to get multiple income going, because also they're saying that we're not going to have Social Security. And I'm sure if you talk to any professor or anybody that does finance, and you're a younger person, they've said Social Security will not be around when you're here. I don't know what will be around when I'm here, what will or will not. But I have heard that pretty much majority of my, working life. And the thing is, I don't want to just depend on Social Security, whether I have it or not. Because one, it only pays about 40% of your income anyway. And so, it's good to have different sources of income. And I want to be able to say, hey, I want to retire when I want to retire. I don't want to have to wait till I'm 60-something or,
Yeah, I think really that, to me, that kind of bugs me when you just look at that number. 60 to 65 is the retirement age. Like, I'm not trying to say you can't do nothing at that age, but you've pretty much, your body's tapped out. You've literally worked the vast majority of your life, and now you have the freedom to you have freedom now, but you don't have
without a penalty.
Yeah, but now you don't have the energy or something like that to do the things you want to do. And I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to do that. I don't think I can stomach that. So
right. And then I do know, just a little side note about that I do know, like, sometimes they say when people stop working and things like that, when they're older, that they kind of just eventually die because they're not getting up in the morning. So I'm not saying, like, you not, when you're in your 60s, maybe you want to have a little part-time job or whatever, but the idea is that you shouldn't have to. So, like I was saying, with us not having Social Security available to us, that we are starting our own businesses and we're trying to find things that can give us other sources of income. And honestly, they say if you are planning to be a millionaire or just trying to get somewhere close to that, most people that have a nice sized life tend to have multiple sources of income. So it's not just one thing that they do. They do about 5 or 6 things. And so I think that is true, because I've always said that, well, maybe not always, but I think that I feel like I should have, I want to make money while I'm sleeping. Like, while I'm sleeping, I'm still making money.
Right.
And that's
residuals.
Yeah. And just, I don't have to worry about it. And so, so that's something that I really feel like the younger generations, like, they think about what they could do. They probably think about fast money. Let me get on YouTube, or let me get on this, or let me sell this. But you'll be surprised, like, what catches on quick. However, you want it to last long as well.
Because fast money go fast.
Yep, so. Fast money. Then in like 10 years, you don't even have it. Maybe 5, because what's a fad now may not be. Fast come and go. I mean, literally come and go. So that's just something I wanted to touch on about the getting different sources of income, and the younger generation and us not having Social Security listed to Medicaid, Medicare, things like that. Well, Medicare is something different. Medicare you pay into it. Medicaid is something if you're lower income. But so whatever, you got anything to touch on about that?
No, I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head. With having multiple sources of income, because I just know the regular 9 to 5, and people talk about minimum wage and things like that.
Right.
It really is not enough. It really is. It's not enough. Not how inflation and things like that are. The price of food, just simply. And I'm not saying living lavishly. Just simply trying to live and survive. On a general aspect, it's not enough. You get your check. And you had the bills waiting on you, knocked your front door like, you thought you got paid. Now we got paid. Your bills like, nah, play. We got paid. Run me my Skrilla right now.
Yeah.
So
gas and electric and all that stuff.
Electric. Just the basic internet. What's crazy? Some people look at internet as an option today, but that's a bill, because you can't. And
it's a necessity, because if you don't have Wi-Fi and things like that, you can go somewhere and try to. And I guess to maybe
you can go to the library, but you got to pay the Uber. You got to get on the bus. You got to spend that time to go out. And if time is money, and money is time. If you get paid, $6 an hour or $7 an hour, how much you get paid? You done wasted, $14, $15, traveling.
Right.
Just to get to where you want to go.
And maybe you have one of those phones that can be a hotspot, can be your own router, but that actually burns up your battery life and makes the phone go down even,
and plus
very long.
That speed sucks. Well, let's be real. That speed is garbage. But definitely this is trying to live these days is just trying to survive on what you have is hard. So
multiple sources of income is the way to go. if you, like I said, if it's little things that you like, let's say you like crocheting, you make hats, or let's say you're good about certain things, about consulting about things. You have a degree in something, and you can help out another business. That can be a business. Anything these days can be a business.
Put your stuff online. Yeah, like online, you do crocheting, or you make little figurines, drawings.
Yep.
You make soap, whatever it is, put your stuff online. Put it,
all natural soap.
Whatever you have a passion for, somebody else might have a passion for, and is willing to purchase or buy it. And you never know, you may put it online, you get $30, $40 for it. Hey, that's a tank of gas.
Right. But when we say do these things, even though it's a passion, like just make sure that you're doing it in, like you have a passion behind it, and that you put in it's integrity that you put into it, and that you know that it's something that you're really investing into. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to just like, oh, I can do this and I'm just gonna make some money. I mean, you don't want to look at it like necessarily like that, but you do want to like make sure it's something that like it's a good product that you're putting out. Is what I'm trying to say. That it's a good product that you're putting out. That you know, like Cordell said, if it's something you're willing to buy, that others will willing to buy.
Right.
Okay, this is just kind of on the same thing. It's saying being an entrepreneur and why it looks so appealing. And I think, like I said, why it looks so appealing is because let me just say this: when something catches on and it's real quick, and then people get on there and like, I made this amount of money. Or when you see ads, you could be watching something on YouTube and you see an ad and it's like, let me tell you, this is my. You notice it that they always come. On the ad comes on, they're getting out some nice fancy car, and then they're like, let me walk you into my house. And then as they walk you into their house, it's some mansion or whatever. I don't even know if these are the people, if they actually own this. And if they do, kudos, no shade or whatever. And so you're walking through like, let me take you through my office. And you're going to their office, and the office is like a size of like 2 apartments. And then they're like, okay, let me tell you how I got all this. Okay, so...
Click the link below. We're gonna charge you $17.95 for this program, and
wait, they might even say it's free. They might say, you know what, this is free. I'm gonna tell you how to get here, and maybe they can. But it's always about money. And so, although I think that entrepreneurship is going up, they're going up probably because people are marketing it like entrepreneurship is a market. Let's be clear. So they're marketing it like, oh, I made all this money and this and this and this, but you don't know what else they got going on. And now you're trying to quit your job. Or just tell your school, like, I don't need you guys to F it, I'm out of here. I'm about to be an entrepreneur. And you don't have anything set up as a basis. Yeah. And that's the last thing that I want you to do, that we're telling you to do. But I'm just saying, if it's something...
Follow my dreams.
If it's something that you really are passionate about and you're willing to put in the work, go for it. And I think that's another reason...
Just be smart about it.
Right. That's
be smart about it. You want to do your dreams. Because I'm the first person. Follow your dreams 100%, right. But just be smart about it.
Because if I can be very transparent with you guys, even though we are starting different avenues of sources of income, Cordero and I both have full-time jobs. Like, listen, I cannot be poor. I cannot live with my parents. No. I cannot live with siblings. I do not need a roommate. It's just certain things that I have been through. I done had a roommate before. I done lived with my parents when I was younger. These are not things I'm trying to go back to. I have to fund me. And so I have to be realistic about things I do. I can have the most passion. If I got to go work a 9 to 5 and then when I get home, that's my another 4 or 5 hours I'm putting into my dream, I'm okay with that. Because I realize I'm going to have to put in some work. But what I'm not going to do is just quit my whole situation and be like, okay, this is going to work. Now, I'm not saying people haven't done it, because there's stories out there. People are like, you know what? I quit this and I'm doing well. But that's a rarity. That's kind of like a football player or some really, like a really good sports player just quitting or whatever, or just coming from nothing and just boom, there they are. Right, like, you know how many people are like, probably can, shoot better than LeBron or do this and they ain't never got a shot, because it's not, it's work ethic, it's who you know. It's a combination of things, and it's a little bit of luck. Come on now, you got to be prayed up. It's a combination of things for you to get where you got to go. And so I'm not saying that, you can't get there, but you kind of got to be smart about it. So I have no problem with doing what I'm doing right now from Monday through Friday. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to just throw my whole situation just because I got this entrepreneurship spirit. I can have a spirit, but these bills gonna come and they not coming off a spirit. They coming off of okay, well we glad you got that spirit, but this is how much this gonna cost you. So
do the podcast, you can't pay us a spirit. You
right. So when you see those ads on there, I'm not saying it can't motivate you, but make sure you do the research and make sure
just be smart about it.
Be smart about it. Yeah.
One thing I did want to, the reason you said why it's so appealing. Because everybody wants to be their own boss. I think
Very
that's
true.
what everybody wants to be. I want to get up when I want to get up. I want to do what I want to do. Everybody generally wants to be their own boss. I know what the kind of attitude that I have, and I'm gonna say the kind of attitude that I have. We can't just. I personally don't like being told what to do on any level. It's something I have to calm down all the time when dealing with policies and procedures and everyday things at work. I'm like, I can do this better. This procedure is stupid. I don't like this rule. This rule is dumb. And
can you guess what sign he is, guys? If you can, put it in the comment below.
Oh, you know what? That's a good one. If you can guess what,
if you can guess what his sign is.
I ain't talking about the people who know me. But if you can guess what sign I am,
put it in the comment box below.
Yeah, but I don't generally like being told what to do. I kind of have my own path. I'll listen, but your idea got to make sense. If it don't make sense, I'm very rebellious when it comes to that. That's just me.
For me, okay, so with me, I don't mind being told what to do. I tend to have a lot of questions, though. So, I'll do it. And then if it's something that I feel like I can do more efficiently, I tend to ask questions. And so that might not go over so well. But it's just one of them things. I'm not trying to be like...
She asked questions to make your idea look stupid.
No.
Well, why are we doing it like this?
No. I literally, because... And then I'll say, if I say, okay... are we doing this like this? These are how the file's supposed to go. Okay, can we do it electronically? Because who really wants to be doing paper files? But, I'm just saying, it's just certain ideas that I have. And maybe my idea is okay, if you can explain to me that you do it this way because, this is a more efficient way, or this is a system that correlates with another system, then I can get that. Mm-hmm. But if you just say, this is how it's always been done.
Nah, I ain't
so that's what and then I'll do it the way you want me to do it. I'm just gonna doesn't really make too much sense. But I don't mind I don't have a problem with authority, and I don't mind taking. I know you're over here cringing, but I don't mind. It's just how you approach me. At the end of the day, I'm grown, and as long as you respect me, regardless if I'm a entry level, mid level, higher level, just come with respect and everything will be copacetic.
I agree about if you have a set of guidelines or Job has a set of guidelines and rules, I'll do it. But I'm gonna have an attitude the entire time.
The whole attitude.
Stupid. And I might ask questions like, why are we doing like this? And I might try to present it. I'll try my best to present it in a respectful way of saying, hey, this is the way I think we could do it. It's a lot faster, a lot easier. It makes more sense. Can we try this? Now, they have, we can't do that because this system. We can't do that because of that system. Then, okay, there's different roadblocks. But if you just say, well, it's always been done like this, I'm going to look at you like, yeah, you wasting my time. Because I can do this in 15 minutes my way, came with the same results, didn't break any policies or anything like that. But you want me to spend an hour and a half doing it this way. I'm having conviction.
And then let me just play devil's advocate just a tad. I will say, just not listen to what you're saying, especially when it's something that's been done so well. I mean, not so well. When it's something that's been done so long, sometimes when you have a company and it's a couple of you guys, they're gonna have to train other people on how to do it your way, and they're probably looking like, well, who gonna train them? It's kind of, I guess that's kind of how they think about it. I'm not saying it's right or whatever, because I still feel like I like to work smart, not hard. I'm not with spending all day doing something when I can know we could probably tweak it and do it another way. But maybe that's what they're thinking, like, oh, well, we got to train other people, and some people don't know this system or whatever. But that's just part of life too. Like, things get updated, systems change, So
yeah. Well, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, why is being your own boss so appealing? But yeah. Because everybody, I mean,
all of these things.
Why is entrepreneurship so appealing? Is because everybody wants to be their own boss. But along with that, you have to have a certain amount of discipline with that.
Absolutely.
Because it ain't just
that's the word.
You gotta have a certain amount of discipline with that. It ain't just being your own boss and you get up at 10:30, 11 o'clock because now you're on boss. But it's so whatever your business is, just be disciplined enough to carry it out, and just don't take advantage of. I got
and
free
network.
time now.
I want to say network. Make sure you're networking. And
that's a job in itself.
Oh my God. And okay, so for me, I'm not the most sociable person about like. It takes me a minute to warm up to a certain situation. I kind of got to feel things out first. So I'm not going to be the one like, hey, everybody. That's kind of not my personality. But so, and I don't want to see pushy. Like, that's why I probably couldn't be a salesperson. I don't want to, if you tell me, like, I can just call you like, hey, would you like to buy? You say no. But okay, before you can get no good, I'm probably hanging up the phone. Because I want you to respect my space. So I tend to respect other space. So, when it's a situation like that, networking, like Cordell said, it's definitely working doing so. And it's definitely a job in itself. But sometimes that's just half the battle. Because it's like, if someone likes you or likes what your product is, they'll let everybody else know. And sometimes it's just you getting to the right person, and then that's all she wrote. But yeah, network, it takes a lot. And then sometimes it's at times and days, because where we live, they have a lot of networking parties. And here's another thing. Sometimes you're networking and they're telling you what they can do, and they're telling you this dream or what they, see. And it can go totally wrong. It can go totally wrong, because it can go where they either trying to take your idea and make it something else, or they're telling you, yeah, but then they're walking away like, oh, this person's an idiot. So just don't get discouraged if you meet somebody or you have this, like, just kind of go with what you know. And like I said, if you meet somebody that you feel like you guys can work together, then do that. It's okay to network and get out there, and you don't have to put on or try to be something you're not. Even like I said, if you're not the most sociable person, that's okay. Just kind of say hey and have a conversation. Just do it as if you're having a conversation and you're talking about something you're passionate about and something that you love.
One thing I did want to say also as well, when you're out here doing your business, try to stay true to yourself. Make sure you're not compromising, the integrity of what you're doing for the dollar, because that'll come back and bite you. If you're doing some job for somebody, and they're trusting you, whether installing something, fixing something, provide a certain type of service for somebody, and you're like, well, I can just get this and get away with it type thing, because that's the integrity of your work. You don't want nobody coming back and saying, well, this and that happened, and I couldn't find out that this, that, and the third, because you do that 2 or 3 times, you're going to start to develop a pattern, and then the pattern's going to get around, and, people will complain more than they give you a compliment.
That's absolutely
so on your job, if you mess up or, you do something shady, they're going to let 30 people know, versus if you do something really good, they might only let 10 people know. Like, so-and-so did my computer, and, I'm going to tell my 10 friends. But if you mess something up, don't go to this person. They're going to let the whole world know. They're going to put it on Facebook. They're going to tag you, your business.
They're going to take a picture of what you messed up.
Take a picture of what you messed up and post it. And so how that travels fast. So make sure you stay true to your quality of work. That's what I'm trying to say. Make sure you stay true to your quality of work, because you don't want nobody saying, so-and-so messed up, because that you messing up is going to get around a lot faster than you doing a good job.
And just think of it like this: whatever it is that you're doing, that you work on, that's your stamp. That's a part of you. That's how they're going to look at it. Like, well, this is what this X and Y did. This is what they put out. So this is the quality of work that they do.
If your work is trash, they gonna think you trash.
Yeah, not saying that you are, but that's definitely how they're going to think. Yep. Also, we wanted to talk about friends or frenemies. I don't really know what a frenemy is. Like, I know what a frenemy is, but I don't really get it. Okay? So, I guess basically a frenemy is somebody that they're acting like they're your friend, but they really want you to do bad.
I think a frenemy is, this is why I don't let everybody in my business or in my circle, I'm a relatively private person, is they come
Look, I know people are like, how are they doing a podcast and they're talking about they're not
I'm just saying, we try to make a change. Let us evolve.
Let us grow.
let us grow. But some people are around you to be nosy, in my opinion.
Right.
Or to gossip about you, because some people, for some reason or another, love
miserable
drama.
Misery loves company.
Yeah. So if they coming in, or they asking you 1,000 questions, I get real suspicious when around people who ask me too many questions. Especially to get the personal questions, and you just kind of peeping around. But people sometimes are there just to see what you're doing, just to be nosy in your business.
Yeah.
It's just so they're gonna tell the next person or something like that. That's why I tell people my favorite color: green, blue, So I know who it came from.
Right.
You know?
And I think too, I don't know. Yeah, so it's sad that people are like that, people might start off as your friend. Here's another thing I want to say. Some people might start off as a genuine friend. And let's say, you start making life changes, you want to better yourself and your things start going good. Sometimes jealousy can evolve in a friendship. And it's so sad because, it's kind of like, why would you be jealous, or why would you pull away, or why would you feel some kind of way when, if I'm your friend, like if I'm your true friend and you know what friendship means, you should be so happy for me.
Happy to see you win.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, my friend's doing good, and maybe I'll motivate you, or maybe you motivate me. It's something like that. It's friendship is not just give, or take. It's a relationship. And I think sometimes if people put in much as the relationships they put into like somebody that they're dating, like a boyfriend girlfriend kind of relationship, into like just regular friendships, that maybe it'll go further. Maybe, I don't know, because I guess it depends on how you are in a relationship too. You might not be a good boyfriend or girlfriend, but what I'm trying to say is that different. I don't think people think their friends are supposed to change. Friendship changes. Sometimes friendship evolve, especially if somebody gets a spouse or get married, or children come along, or your career changes, you get more money, or whatever. You're just trying to better yourself. You're just living life and you're happy.
Right.
Really, true friendship. There's that whole frenemy thing. That's trash. Whoever made that, that's just a word somebody made up to try to. It's just not even a real thing. I do not get it.
It's just the enemy.
It's an enemy at the end of the day. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, that's just the enemy at the end of the day. You guys could have started as friends, but I feel like jealousy should not even be a part of their vocabulary when you're describing a friend. Even if you don't agree with them, even if you didn't know them since high school, college, elementary school, parents grew up together. It's sad when people can't be supportive of your endeavors. And like I said, even if they don't agree with you or understand what you're saying, then that's okay. Don't say nothing then. To let somebody shine and do what they got to do.
Right.
And don't, okay, and then if they ask you to support and it's something that, they're not asking you, give blood or something that's so detrimental to yourself, just support it,
I think if they're not doing nothing to hurt nobody, or, no conniving, things like that, then, supporting your friends. I can say, as far as my circle of friends go, we're very supportive of each other in our dreams and things like that, whether it be, somebody's starting a new job, making a ton more money, or somebody got their own little video they trying to shoot, or even trying to do this podcast that we're doing. My friends have been, oh, great, man, things like that. I ain't heard nobody say, well, the podcast thing probably ain't gonna work out. Then I gotta cut you off.
So you cut them off right there.
As
soon as they say that,
you won't even finish the sentence good. Any negativity would not be tolerated.
Okay, let me ask you. So if they say it's not gonna work, do you ask them why do you think that? Or you just
I can care less why they think that.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not gonna. I don't need to hear it's not gonna work. I need to hear if put like this. If you don't have anything to add, don't do things to take away.
Okay.
So if you feel like it's not gonna work, you need to come up with something that's behind it. Hey, Kadero, it'd be better if you did this,
right? Or
here's an idea, you should try out this. If you feel like the podcast is too long, I'm just gonna use an example. Hey, Kadero, maybe you should break it up into parts, so people can kind of get the full thing in one session, or whatever the case may be. But don't be like, well, complaining. It's too long. I can't listen to the whole thing. I got to cut it off.
You feel some kind of way?
Yeah, I'm a little disturbed. You know what I'm saying? Right. Watch your mouth. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I will say most of my friends that know that I guess consider me friends are people that just talk to me. I'm I'm very blunt about what I mean. I'm not blunt in a hurtful way, but if you, stop it. I tend to say what's on my mind, but I'm saying it if you tell me, hey, I'm going to start a business, and I'm like, okay, cool, and then you tell me what it is, and I'm like, okay, and then you give me different ideas, and then you ask me what I think, I'm going to tell you what I think. But I'm not, if it's something that I feel like could be changed, it's just an opinion. But I'm going to give you some other things you can do. Just like Cordero said, just don't be saying, no, this won't work, and just being negative Nancy when you're not giving it okay, if you're going to tell me something negative, then tell me something positive I can do to help me along. Listen, I'm all for constructive criticism. There we go. I'm all for that. But whether it's a job placement, whether it's friendship, that's how you grow. But just don't tell me no, and then I'm just sitting there looking at you like, okay, so what's next? Just no.
If you don't have no solutions, don't.
Because now you just sounded jealous, right? Now you just sounded
you sound like a hater.
Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna listen to you. And even if it is my idea is bad, you're not trying to help me be better. You know, you're not even giving yourself. We're not working together. And so I'm just saying, when your friends have stuff going on, you know, support them. You know, give them encouragement, even when they're complaining to you about something. And let's say you kind of like, oh, okay, let them complain or let them vent. I mean, friendship goes both ways. So if they're venting about something, listen to what they say, and then try to help out. Say, hey, what have you thought about this? I think it's all in the delivery of what you're saying to the person, and you know, be supportive. You know, and like my mom always said, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. In this day and age,
unless they ask.
No. I mean, if it's a friendship, then yeah, I'll tell you. But my stuff is never. I think my mother meant it more as like, if you know you just about to be negative all the time and you ain't got nothing nice to say and you don't have a positive thing afterwards,
just be quiet.
Just be quiet. Just like, okay, that sounds like something.
I kind of feel like my friends at this point. They know what to come to me with and what they're not coming with. They really do.
Like, I'm coming to him for this, but not that.
This is not something you talk to Cadero about. This
right.
It's not going to be pretty.
Right. So, like I said, just kind of keep that basically open communication with your friends and let all that jealousy or whatever, you know, go. You know, if somebody's jealous of you or always negative of you, that means they ain't got nothing to do with themselves. That's what I feel. You spending so much time watching me, being nosy with me, or being envious of me that you really ain't got nothing going on. But that's something. If you're envious, do something. Find something to do. That means you have a lack of.
Read a book.
Learn how to do something. Take up something, and it's okay to be inspired. I think too, people have this thing where like, I don't want to do this because they're doing it. Like, be inspired by your friend or somebody you see,
or better yet, work with them.
Yeah, and say, hey, do you need anybody? Can I shadow you? I don't know. Listen, there's a lot of things that I don't know how to do that I'm interested in. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just ask, or I'll try to get with somebody that, you know, won't mind, like, need an intern, like internships or whatever. Like, yeah, you know, to kind of extend your palette of things and knowledge. That's okay to do that thing. I think people just get envious or something, and then it's like, you know, they drop off are you on here? Are you get those friends? It's a different kind of jealous. It's that quiet, slow jealous. It's like you'll tell them something, and let's say y'all normally talk every day or once a week or something, and next thing you know, it's like you call them, they ain't picking up. You text them, they ghosting you. Your friends are literally ghosting you.
New housewarming party. Ain't going to house.
Oh, you got a new house.
She got a new house. She probably selling dope. It's just all kinds of just nonsense, man. It's crazy,
and then you see it with a store like, hey, it's like, look, let's not make it awkward. We're in the grocery store trying to get the same milk. Stop it.
You done wrote out a whole career path that what they did or something like that. But yeah, your real friend's not gonna be jealous.
Right.
Your real friend's gonna be real supportive of you and whatever it is. Like I said, as long as you're not doing nothing shady or underhanded, because unfortunately for me, if I feel like it's shady or underhanded, I'm gonna say something to you.
I don't think that's an unfortunate thing. I think that's a mature thing to do to say, hey. But also, too, when you said, if somebody said something negative, you wouldn't say anything. I think if that's your friend, like, I feel like if my friend came to me and said something was negative.
I mean, if they say something negative and just leave it, like, you know, don't come to me with a better solution.
And then I think I would. I'd be like, hey, if they say something negative, like, okay, that's not going to work. I'm like, and they just left it at that, and I'm like, wait a minute, well, why wouldn't it work? And if you can't tell me, then I can figure out, oh, it's just a jealousy thing, or you just been a hater, right? You don't want to see me win. You can't be. I'm like, okay, so you don't have any positive kind of things to tell me.
This.
You don't have any other alternatives for me. And then if you say no, I'm like, okay, then I can kind of see. Now I know I really cut you off for a reason. I don't want you to understand why I'm not talking to you. And then I'm probably going to tell you, like, well, I think that's a shitty thing to say it's not going to work, but you don't have any alternative for me.
Right.
Like, what does that say about you? You know, that's how I feel about that kind of situation. So this is going to be for episode 2, pretty much all the topics that we're going to talk about for today. Before we do that, I want to give out some shout outs to Jacob and Joshua. Those are my nephews. They are turning 12 this month. And they're just very, well-mannered kids, and they're twins, and
I'm gonna buy them a sword.
Oh God, no. That's a whole nother story. They're very productive, and I just love that. Like they are really into their teachers and into school, but they also play basketball, so they're like very much into like sports, and they travel and play around with different states and things like that. And to see 12-year-olds or almost 12-year-olds be so have a passion for something. Every day when I see them I really do like wow, they're doing so well. Like I remember when I had passions like that when I was a kid, and so I think doing this podcast is definitely one of those things. I'm like, we could do this. Like something I'm passionate about. Me and Corey have conversations all the time, and they inspire me. And so I just want them to keep up the good work and to let them know I love them. Also, another birthday. March is full of birthdays for my family. I have a younger brother. His birthday is a few days after theirs. And also a great young man doing his thing and very just well-mannered. Like my mom did really good with raising her grandchildren and helping out with that and, raising my brother. And, he's very ambitious and, I'm just really proud of him as well. He's a forward thinker, and I just want to tell him happy birthday, and I love him too.
I can't think of any birthdays from March. I'm pretty sure there are some that I'm missing over, and I'm so sorry. I will catch you the next time around, I promise you. But, it is what it is. Also, I have a question for you guys. I used to send these out all the time, but this is something to ponder on. And my question for you, this kind of stems back into relationships, is are they worth the work? And what I mean by that is, how do you know when someone is worth investing your time into? At one point, what do they do? What do they say? What kind of behaviors do they display to say, okay, this is somebody that I can really invest my time or give up my time for, make time for? That's a really thing. How do you make time for somebody? And invest my energy into this person. It's going to be somebody that when they call, I might be available, I might not. Versus, okay, I'm going to put this aside to spend time with this person. Because that's what making time is. For making time is not just convenient. Making time would be, I'm going to set this aside, or I might rearrange this. Just to add on, might rearrange this to spend time with that person. And that's it. Put them in your comments below. Let us know what you think.
Comment on Twitter if you follow us. Like I said, our Twitter information is below. Comment on Instagram to his question, are they worth the work? And just keep us in mind. Until next week, you guys. Have a good one.